Hey yo, what's up? You know what it is? It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. live on Team GRF TV. I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Godspeed Sony. Yo, Lupinranger versus Patranger, episode number 3. Take them back no matter what. Yo, I appreciate this episode, and you might be wondering why, which is why this review exists, right? I have been waiting for this episode. Well, not in that instance, let me explain. One of the questions that I don't think I've brought up, but I've had in the back of my head, is how is a show that is split like this going to handle character development on an extensive scale? Because you get character development every time a character does something. You learn something new about them. But as fans of Sentai, you know that when you have those specials, focus episodes on that certain character doing a certain thing, and you find out a little bit about him and why and how and stuff like that. Because episode 2 was a lot of us finding out like what the Lupinrangers and why they are and that stuff. This is a lot of bleed over from that, mainly focused on Tuma, because at this point, remembering that his fiance was cracked in a thing of ice by Monster Iceberg Slim. I'm stealing everything from everybody. I'm robbing fools at gunpoint. Run the jewels, or in this case, run the Lupin collection. Run it now. I can get my gal back and we can get in peace. This, of course, is full steam through the majority of the episode until Kyrie gets a hand on him and makes him understand that, look, I get it. I get it. I do. We all in this for our own reasons to get back those we've lost. But you doing it this way just gonna do more harm than good. That gets Toma back on track, and the rest of the episode plays out. On the other side of the ball, you got Sakia. He's having a crisis in himself of, I don't have enough confidence because of something that happens earlier in the episode, because he almost loses his VS changer. He ultimately gets the confidence back, shoots a whole bunch of gunk, and then, you know, Pat Kaiser appears, and then they bust shots on fools while doing Decker Ranger stuff. And it's like, when you do Decker Ranger stuff, I applaud you, because Decker Ranger is best Sentai ever. Whole else. The thing is, it's like I said, this was the episode that I've been waiting for, because now I get it. The question I've been asking for the past 2 episodes, in episode number 3, at least for now, the show has answered it for me. I don't know how much character development to an extensive scale that we got for Toma or we gonna get from the Power Rangers. I don't have any clue or idea how. Anyway, before I was interrupted by dogs who wanted to come inside, is what I was saying. Oh, okay, fine. Come here. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Come here. Thank you. Like I was saying, ma'am, is the thing that, like I said, that I was looking for and forward toward this episode is to really figure out, like, where this show skewer is, right? And I know now. Right now, the show is really focused, really deep on the Lupinrangers and trying to really get out their backstory. Because, like I said, the previous episode was all about Monster Iceberg Slim freezing everybody you love and murdering them, and you trying to collect a Lupin collection and bring them all back. We get that. This was an extension of that, because Tuma just want to get his gal back. That's all he wants. That's all that matters. And I appreciate about it was that everything that Aya sat up here and tried to teach him about trying to get used to relationships and how they work is him getting used to relationships and how they work within his own team. And you really got to appreciate when the show takes its time to do that. This episode also answered a complete other question for me. Yes, if this show was Kaito Senpai, Lupinranger, and it was the Gondolas, this show could still work all on its own. I really think that the three of them together, Kairi, Tuma, and Yuma, could got enough swag to hold a show by their own. A whole show. I really think that if they had a little expansion of character early on, you really could build that. If you had a team of Lupinrangers, maybe, like a whole normal squad of 5, you could make that work if you wanted to. You could. But I sit up here and watch this episode, and at the same time understand and glad that this is what it is. That the motif is what it is. This versus series, as it is, as Cops versus Robbers and all that good stuff, is what it is. Because ultimately, the skewer of how we are going to try to introduce and get these characters over to you in a big way is going to skew the other way at some point. There are going to be questions sooner or later that we're going to have about Keiichiro, Sakura, and Tsukasa. You are going to have those questions because I have those questions now. Even though, like I said, the other side of the episode was Sakura building up his confidence because he messed up a little bit. You just have to wonder, it's like, how much more are we going to get of both sides got issues versus one side completely with no issues and the other side is trying to deal with a whole bunch of stuff at the same time? That might be when the skewer goes towards the other side of the ball field, but not right now. But it's true, just like I said earlier, this show and this episode answered a whole lot of questions for me, and I'm glad it did, because now I know what it is that I'm watching. What it is that I'm watching, and what is this that I'm watching for. Because yes, of course, I'm watching this because of a Sentai, but the show in 3 episodes has done enough for me. What are you barking at? Hold on for a second, internet. More interruptions by dogs. My dog's barking at nothing. Why? I don't know why they barking, but anyway. I was trying to make this mystical and magical point about the show, and I'm trying to remember what the point was. Yeah, I remember. Is that this show works because it works. I think that was going to be the ultimate place I was going to get with this. Is that the way that this show is presented, the way that the show is written, the way that the show plays itself out with the combination of A and B, this is a show, yes. And let me remind you, and let me say it again, that if it was just Lupinranger, this show would work. I still, right now, 3 episodes in, because I don't have enough information about the Patrangers, I don't think them alone could hold down the whole thing, because a big, humongous part of this episode, and I've been waiting to get to this, is the interaction between these 2 teams out of costume. Is that those interactions that they've had in this episode is going to be the ultimate nucleus of what makes this show great. Is that right now you got a nucleus and it's slowly building. You got the Patrangers rolling up in the bakery like, yo, we want something to eat. You got Tuma like, yo, I'm finna make these fools run the Lupin collection, run the jewels, just make you run like a track star, make you run like Usain Bolt, and even this fast make you run it. As we get deeper into this series, we are going to see a lot more of that. Like what we saw between Sakura and Umika, I don't know if that's a ship you're really going to push, because you could. Like, you could really, if you really wanted to, like, make this some secret forbidden romance where each of them know that they the other side, but they not telling. If you want to get into interesting storytelling like that, if you want to. But I just think it's a one-off thing. Or maybe Sakura and Umika, or the new sin, or the new sin in, okay, well, you're distracting me, dog. That Sakura Umika could be the new Sin and Umiko. You could write that if that's what you want to do. Cops and robbers falling in love. Lupinranger, Patranger, marriage formation, or something weird like that. Erupting, burning finger. I don't know. I just need a drink of water. I'm trying to stall. That's good water. That is really good for me. Sekihai Love Tenkelkin. Sekihai Love Tenkelkin. Yes, I own a copy of Gundam Versus, but I'm never opening it because I have to pay to play as the one set of Gundams I would actually play as my favorite Gundam series. So now go Bandai, go for yourselves. Okay, got that out the way. Fine. Look, like I said, the big part of this episode is this interaction. It's like we got a bit of that in episode 1. When Keiichiro and Kairi were running into each other more than once. And it's like, ultimately, what I think is going to happen is when these teams come together, it is going to be the nucleus of what we're building here with these character interactions is what's ultimately going to make the show work. On that other side of the ball with the gondolas, they just there. I'm not sitting up here saying that boy Dogranio ain't a beast. I ain't sitting up here saying Destra is probably going to be that Lord. And Goshi, she's just super cute. I'm like, I don't know how that side of the gondola ball is going to work because the show has given you no reason to care. And I'm not saying it like the show has to give you. It ain't gave me a reason to care. I can't speak for y'all. And I don't want you. Is that I really think that with the right focus, the gondolas could be a great foil to both of these teams. But it just seemed the way that it is early on is that Monster goes out with Lupin collection thing, does something random. Lupinranger show up, bust shots. Patranger show up, bust shots. Plot, monster. Plot, monster. Monster destroyed. Here comes Go-Ichi, you sit up here like, oh, my thing is blow you a kiss, turn into a monster, sit up here, Ranger you to death, or sit up here and do dirt to you and then leave. I don't know. I don't know if the Gongola's interaction with this Versus series as it's presented, I don't know how important they are other than foils for both of these teams to go at. Because it makes it seem, and probably now that I think about it makes sense, more like a competition of who can collect these pieces first. Because again, let me remind you what the plot of our show is. The Lupinrangers have lost everything. My girlfriend, my brother, my cousin, my auntie, I don't know. You lost people. Monster Iceberg Slender froze your people, KO'd them. You want your people back? Put the Lupinrangers together like the 7 Dragon Balls. Arsene Lupin will come from the heavens with Shenron and grant you a wish and then just disappear again if that's whatever. That's the other thing. Now that I think about that, and I think I mentioned it, is that ultimately when this starts getting personal for the Patrangers, if it ever gets personal, it's going to be that thing of they're going to have enough of the Lupin collection and when it's all said and done, it's going to be here. Y'all make that wish because, you know what I'm saying, we cool now, man. Pound it, and things like that. So it'll be interesting to really see, like I talked about earlier, that nucleus of what this show is trying to build and what it's going to be. As long as it doesn't falter of the nucleus of the Versus series that this is trying to present itself to be, that ultimately they come together against the Gongolas or a threat greater than them, because honestly, that's what I legitimately think. I really don't think Dogranio is going to be your full-time villain, super duper bad guy. Like, I'm not sitting up here saying Destro might stab him in the back or something, or somebody may still go chase Lupin thing and then become the new thing to make monsters grow. But the way that it sits up here and sits and looks, that maybe that maybe those three as the leaders of the Gondola, they may not be around for long. You want to come over? Come here. Calm down, girl. Calm down. There you go. Relax. So it's in that where I'm not sure. Before we get up out of here, I got one more thing. That boy Kogure. I'm like, this dude a phantom. And he came up there, he and the thing chilling, police come through, he sit up here disappear like finger snaps gone. I'm like, Good Striker made a point about, yo, it's something up with my guy. Like, my guy, he a beast, but it's something up with him. Again, this is probably the character that he probably got some super duper tragic backstory, that he probably 300-400 years old, and I've been watching the Lupin collection. I trained Arsene Lupin to be the greatest thief in the world. I said Lupin the third, you know what I'm saying? Lupin the third, or something like that. It's something up with this dude. And I want to know what. That's it, that's all. I want to know what's up with this boy Kogure. This show needs to deliver me answers, not ASAP, but ASAP. ASAP about what's up with this dude. Because it's something. And it's like you can see, like, I don't want to sit up here and say, like, it's something sinister about my guy. But it's something sinister about my guy. This dude got some information that matters. I can already tell you, spoiler alert, he is the one that sent the stuff over there to the Popo. He sent stuff to Popo. Because at the end of the story, they're gonna straight sit up here and reveal to you that the reason why that they did this, because I didn't think the three of you would be enough to handle all of this business. So I sent some police after y'all to sit up here to bring up your competitive spirit, blah 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 blah, all in the state of competition, blah blah blah. You can already know. But even given that he sit up here and probably tricked him, and he himself is probably Monster Iceberg Slim, which I'm sitting up here, that's what I'm working on right now. He is secretly, his alternate form is Gondola Monster Iceberg Slim. And he froze the foods and did that on purpose because he needed them to steal the Lupin collection for him because he probably couldn't do it himself. That's probably overly complicated for a plot theory, but that's just what I'm going with right now. Because, again, like I say, it's something up with this dude. It's something up with this dude that the show is just not ready to explain to me, but I want to know. I indeedly doodly wants to know what's up with this dude. So, we're gonna turn this into an episode. How about that? We're gonna turn it into an episode. Like, this was a great episode again. Like I said at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Just to wrap this up in a little bow before we get up out of here. Right now, the focus is really heavy on the Lupinrangers. I wanna see this show. Well, it's official. The universe doesn't want me to fit this review. I've had to go get dogs from outside. I've had to take 3 phone calls. The dogs want my attention right now. Just, you don't want me to finish this review of this episode. And it's like, fine, universe, that's fair. I get it. Maybe it isn't the best review in the world, but we try here, okay? We try, and it's important for us that we try. And by us, I mean me, myself, and I. Pimp. Look. I want to see what this show can do. Right now, like I said, focus. Early Lupinrangers. When that shift occurs, at least probably when new Rangers start showing up, and that's probably going to be before episode 10, I would think. You know what I'm saying? Like, before episode 10, we going to get the show up of a new Ranger, whoever they are, whatever side they land on, and that'll give the show a chance to skirt in whatever direction they need to alter for that. Because, again, you have 3 different characters. You have 3 different characters on each side of the ball. A whole villain team you got to build up. Some dude who may be Monster Iceberg Slim and Good Striker who got some secret he wants to tell. And you got the black dude at the police station and the monster and the robot up there who got a snide attitude. You've got a lot of ground to cover, show. I'm going to give you every opportunity to do it because right now, so far, 3 episodes in, you made me a believer. I just want to give you the time to fully get everything you need together and make it all work. Let's go ahead and let's turn it to an episode. One the only Triple the G.O.D. I'd like to thank all of you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. Yo, whether you rolling with the 5-0 or you making people run the jewels, Triple the Guy explains that I always got what you need all day, every day. And until next time, man, peace out.